Rolls Royce, a company that's second to none, considered to be the pinnacle of luxury. But really, why is that? Why is it so renowned? And is Rolls Royce still luxurious as it used to be? Or is it just holding on to its name and prestige from the past alone? Also, before we start, please like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Anyway, let's get into it. Now, one of the two things that people first associate Rolls Royce with is luxury and money. This brand is straight luxury and is one of the most iconic luxury cars ever, and it costs a lot of money. From their sedans to their SUVs, they're all made to perfection. The panels for the interior is handcrafted. They take such care and have so much precision into making the interior of the car. It is crazy. They have actual people carving out the wood, putting in the starlights for the roof. They have people actually working instead of machines who do all the work like most other companies. I just think that's special because, not many companies still do that, especially in 2024, because Rolls-Royce is still having people do the wood and do all that. I just think, that's a great job on them, phenomenal job on them. Also, it's not just the interior that is done by hand, they also work on the exterior of the car. They have people paint the car by hand, assemble the engines by hand, which is actually pretty rare, or depending on the brand. But again, like I said before, I just think that doing most of the work by hand and not relying on robots adds a certain touch to it as a human touch, and I just think that's amazing. But it's not just the way they build the car that is amazing. They also have a V12 in, I think, almost every single Rolls Royce, which again is amazing because who doesn't love a V12? But here's the thing. Normally with a V12 or any big engine for that matter, you can hear the engine screaming inside your car. Whether you're just driving and you just accelerate, you hear it inside the car. However, that's not what happens with the Rolls Royce. Because Rolls Royce is a luxury brand and hearing your engine like that wouldn't really be a luxurious feeling. So Rolls Royce made it so that you can't hear your engine, or you can't even hear the outside. You can barely hear outside sound. They put sound dampeners inside the car to give a better experience for their drivers. Honestly, I don't know what to say about that. It's crazy to think that you can't really hear the outside. You can't hear an engine, especially that big of an engine, a V12. But obviously, Rolls being Rolls, they were able to do it. Another thing with the engine that I saw, which I found very intriguing, is that while the car is off, you're able to stand a coin on the engine, and then while starting the engine, it will not fall over. And I've seen people try it with other different cars when people first discovered that you can do this with a Rolls Royce, and the other cars were unsuccessful. And this is because, when you start up a car, the engine shakes a little bit, but for a Rolls Royce, it just doesn't do that. And I haven't seen it, but I don't think if you were to start up a Bentley or a Maybach would be able to do something like that. Now that we got all that covered, let's talk about the body, the exterior design of the car. Now, forever, the R has always had this boxy look, but it may be the grille, but the car just looks amazing still. And it may be because Rolls-Royce has stuck to a similar look for many years, but the car is always looking like a luxury car. Especially, and when I say especially, I mean especially with the standing hood ornament. And I don't know if it's just me, but when a company has a hood ornament, I just think it adds, it's a luxury car when it has a hood ornament. And the Rolls Royce hood ornament isn't cheap. It goes for about $200,000. Yeah, nah, I'm not buying that. I don't have the funds for it. Unless somebody wants to give me it, and no, I'm not getting it. Anyway, moving on. It's not just the hood ornament that Rolls Royce does for the exterior. They also have the double R floating wheel caps that they have. This makes it so the double R is always standing straight up and you don't get it on an angle, or you don't have it upside down. I mean, when you think about it in the past, because they've been doing this for a long time, but in the past, this used to be something that was unique, I'm pretty sure, to Rolls. And although it may be common now, back in the day, this was not common. I think it was about 10, maybe 20 years, I don't know. But still, this wasn't common. And for them to do that, I just think, is amazing, especially back then. Now it's more common, but back then it just was something that looked amazing and only something you would see on a luxury car. And from a luxury standpoint, for looks, it looks amazing. But what about how it drives? Well, if you think that Rolls Royce only focuses on luxury and not their owner's driving experience, the performance of their cars, then I gotta say you're stupid. Even though most Rolls Royce are heavy, it still feels like a light car. It feels so light, in fact, that people say you could drive it and turn it with just one finger. And this doesn't just go for their luxury sedans. People also say this about the Cullinan, which is Rolls-Royce's version of an SUV. And this would be especially impressive because normally in SUVs, you'd feel the weight as you turn. But with the Cullinan, apparently you don't feel that. And again, in my mind, that's just insane because I've driven SUVs, I've driven a Pathfinder, and every time you turn the wheel, every time you're driving and you need to make a turn, you feel the weight shift of the car. But it's not just the way that their cars handle, it is also their suspensions. Rolls-Royce packed their suspension for their cars with dampeners so that you don't feel the bumps while you're driving. The car feels smooth. So smooth, in fact, it feels like you are floating on air while you are driving. This feeling that you are floating on air in a Rolls Royce is because of their suspension and the fact that most of their wheels are 20 inches or more, which makes the drive even smoother than it would be if you had smaller rims. With all this is what makes Rolls Royce Rolls Royce. Rolls Royce started around 1904. And 120 years later, it is known as the best luxury car company known to man. From their cheapest car to their most expensive car, from their sedans to their SUVs, they make cars with so much love and care. They don't settle for standard, they go for perfection, whether it's the interior or the exterior. Driving or owning one of their cars makes you look and feel like a boss. It makes you look like you are the most important person in the room. So with all that being said, yes, I do believe everything is worth it in a Rolls Royce. The money you spend is worth it. And yes, I understand that some are over $1 million. But if you really sit back and look at it, you can't tell me that the car is not worth it. The car is not beautiful. It was luxurious in the past and is even more luxurious now, with modern day technology boosting its appeal. Even as time goes on, its 120 years of history does not overshadow its future. The same thing can't be said for other companies. Other companies, you look at the past and say it was better than its present or future. With Rolls-Royce, you just accept that it keeps getting better. You can argue that Rolls-Royce doesn't create luxury cars. They create pieces of art. This is what makes Rolls-Royce's cars so expensive, even to be argued at times priceless. As of right now, as a whole, I truly do believe that Rolls-Royce are the kings of making luxury cars. They are the embodiment of perfection. Rolls-Royce may be the kings of luxuries now. That isn't me saying that companies won't strive to be better than Rolls-Royce in luxury, one day snatching the crown off Rolls-Royce and beginning a new era where they are the kings of luxury. Because as time goes on, there will always be a new king to crown. But in that distant future, we can only wonder, who will it be? Who will try to take the crown from Rolls-Royce? Hey, I just want to say thank you. If you guys made it to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching the full video. Obviously, this is my first time doing one of these videos, so I again just want to say thank you, and I want to make more videos like this in the future. Also, I know I said this in the beginning of the video, but please like and subscribe to the video, and let me know down in the comments what you guys think of Rolls Royce. Also, let me know if you guys think that a company will be able to surpass Rolls Royce in luxury. But yeah, that's all I gotta say, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Anyway, I'm out. Peace.